Welcome back for another video. I'm Eharbad, a free-to-play endgame player in Raid Shadow Legends. Now, ordinarily I would have a little bit of a script ready, rough talking points, and kind of give you the quick highlights of where we are on the fusion, what we need to be doing, and what the big pitfalls are. I've been so busy and preoccupied with trying to grind out this the 2023 free-to-play challenge that I haven't had time to even think, let alone write a couple of notes to start with. So we're going to wing it and hopefully it won't be too bad. If we just jump into the tournaments first of all, Classic Arena, pretty straightforward. Not anyone really should have too many difficulties with it in the current state of the game. We don't need to dwell on that. The Champion Chase tournament, we need to do that today. It is 2x Ancients. In the guide that I put together for the fusion, I'm going to get 15 fragments from the Champion Chase, so going up to 3,000 points from the Legendary Tome, and then I'll supplement that with another 5 fragments from the Summon Rush. There's always a remote possibility I'll win a tournament, but I think it's very unlikely. The way I tend to manage the resources means it's unlikely that I'm going to win the bonus 5 fragments. So before we do the summons though, let's go through the rest of things. Now, Ice Golem I have completed. If you are a little bit tight on the energy, you don't need to get the Epic Tome, but given the way the Dungeon Divers event is, I would recommend at least getting the 2800, rather 2750, get the Epic Tome, get the fragments. I did that using my Theodore and Crypt King on stage 24. I have observed that it isn't actually perfectly 100% unless you force click the boss. So there are definitely other compositions that are better alternatives. Particularly if you do have Tomb Lord, running Tomb Lord solo on stage 23 is actually fractionally more efficient overall. You do lose a little bit in terms of your gear quality and slightly in terms of points efficiency per energy, but you more than make up for that for having the additional food spot, and it is perfectly 100%. It can be built to be perfectly 100%, as he has that decrease attack on a AoE base. He is a perfectly 100% viable champion, stage 23, and that is a very valid strategy. Have him, give it a go. Moving onwards, the Artifact Enhancement event, I haven't finished it yet. I'm about halfway through, but we still have 2.5 days, so no real problem there. If we do look, they have actually, I'm pretty sure they've moved this slot. I think the fragments used to be here in the gem slot, and now they've moved it higher. We get more points. Again, we only have 1 energy, so they've managed to move the energy that's usually here with anniversary points and the energy that's usually here with some arcane potions. In the champion training event, 12k points, I'm 7k in. I will get there without any real doubt. It's just a question of what rank ups I end up having to do to get there. And then in the Dungeon Divers, now this was another one that I felt was kind of sneaky. They moved the fragments from the 2850 slot to 3350, which for a 3-day event is actually extremely punitive. In stage 24 dungeons, we typically get about 0.7 points per energy, which means this Dungeon Divers event in 3 days needs about 4,800 energy, which is really, really not very kind at all. Like, I think if you go back a while, the Dungeon Divers for the fragments used to be here, and they've been slowly making their way up. And I was finding the 2850 was already pretty much at the limit of what I could do, not just using the daily energy we accrue naturally from completing every aspect of the game, but additionally, those energy rewards that I defer was usually enough from previous tournaments and events and from the appreciation pack, etc. We get the mini pack, the one that we get for free each day. Those were usually enough to see me through, but I don't see any way that we can consistently hit 3350 in 3 days without spending a reasonable amount of gems on energy going forward. So I hope this is a one-off, but I am concerned that this could be here to stay, and particularly for anyone in sort of a mid-game free-to-play, that's going to make fusions extremely difficult. In this particular fusion, I was lucky because I had that PR CVC win, and the 2400 energy that I got from that I delayed, I put into Ice Golem once Dungeon Divers opened, and that's given me that head start to be able to get it done. So otherwise, tomorrow we're going to be doing Fire Knight and Champion Training. But like I mentioned in the guide itself, I'm going to focus on the Champion Training tomorrow, and I'll be doing the majority of the Fire Knight once CVC begins. I will be allocating some of my gems into energy during CVC to grind out the Fire Knight. That said, again, we keep contradicting ourselves almost, but it's kind of, I have to stress it more and more, is the Dungeon Divers, I still have 1,000 points to get in a day and a half. So I'm almost certainly going to have to direct some energy into Fire Knight. I doubt I'm going to get 1,000 points purely through campaign in doing the rest of the Champion Training. So I expect that tomorrow I'm going to have to allocate some energy to Fire Knight, some energy Champion Training to campaign, and I'm probably going to have to use some of the energy I've got saved up. We've got a couple of the tournament rewards there, a few energy refills. Also have within tournaments, we've got an energy node here from Tag Team, and I believe we have one from Classic Arena. So we've got a few little bits, a couple I think in the events as well. The Artifact Enhancement energy, there's a Champion Training energy node, and lastly, I believe there's one in the warm-up, two in fact, in the Fusion warm-up. So I expect I'll have to use some of those. If you didn't have a PR CVC win, I expect you're going to have to be using all of those, plus some additional gems, energy. Anyway, like I said, in this we need to summon some ancient shards. We're targeting 3,000 points. I've already actually got 215 points in the bag from just purely mystery shards in terms of doing the Champion Training so far. So we need 2,785 points remaining. So let's just get a couple of temples out the way, see how we get on. Hopefully we'll get something new, something interesting, but there you go, 340 points, 1 epic, 9 rares. Gotta love RNG. A couple of epics, that's a big pull for me. Ruella, I've been really wanting Ruella. Ray is also new, and I think Lady Annabelle is also new. So, I mean, that's a really good set of champions. In fact, it was so good I didn't even pay attention to to the score, but we can work it out. 250 per epic, 500 for the legendary. That's what, 1,250 plus what 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 rares, and I think those are 50 each, are they not? No, they're 20 each. So that will be 1,370. Let's do one more 10 pull. That could be us done. Get a couple of epics in here. 340. Down to 730. We're going to be very shard stingy, and we'll go one at a time now. Do get 3 epics or an epic and a legendary. Chance of us getting another legendary is pretty low. Realistically, I probably could have got away with a 10 pull. we didn't do it. Are there only 10 per rare? So a bit more. Anyway, we'll just keep on going. This way. Yeah, hard. I would say probably what I'll end up doing is I'll pull until we get one more epic, and then I think that will leave me about 245-ish points remaining. I'll just wait for a minute. We'll see when the champion chase points update. Oh, they've actually updated already. That's pretty good going. 2745. Probably do another 100 or so with mystery shards. Anyway, so I could either pull, say, 5 more rares, get an epic, we finish. It makes sense. There we go, we got the epic anyway. Dark Elves Ray. That will actually help me in regards to faction war faster. I now have a reliable nuker. I've never actually built Ruel, otherwise I could have used him, to be fair, but I think Ray would be an interesting one in terms of speeding up faction wars. That said, also Marinix, if I ever built her, could be interesting. What have we got new here? Ranox is also new. Quite an incredible set of shards for us to get some new ones, but this is the actual champion that I was most excited by. The opportunity to go Ruella, who I know some people have managed to do good work in Finite 24. Recently I put out that video using Yakal. I suspect Ruella will be able to do a similar role. Now, the last thing we'll do, as is customary, when we ever do any shard summoning, I tend to do the Soulstone summoning at the same time. So we got 20 to do, thanks mostly to Hydra. Strange that Hydra's more rewarding for souls than Twins is. Finally got Seer, got a Sir Nick, who we don't have, and a Scartosis, who we don't have. It's absolutely incredible how we just consistently, all the time, we just keep pulling legendaries that we don't have. Other legendary one we do have. Wow, look at the legendary pull rate on this. Oh my god, 3 in a row. Samson don't have. Rorik technically have, but have never actually pulled him from the Fragment Summon. And Elegaeus. I mean, that is, it's good, but it's also bad. Like, amazing pull rate in terms of getting triple legendary in a 10 pull is incredible. Getting a 5-star legendary is really, really solid. The champions that they are, I mean, Samson's a decent champion, but I don't have him. Dual-edged sword, isn't it? Bit of a bitter pill, but it is what it is. I also did buy the Cantra soul from the Soul Merchant, and the other soul that I bought in the Merchant most recently was, as we had discussed, I now bought the 3-star Candraphon. I'm going to look to continue to buy Candraphon and get him up to ultimately 6-star. I decided that he would be the champion that would benefit most from me investing my resources in getting him to a high-end ascension. I use him a lot in tag team offense, but obviously he's also strong and used in tag team defense. I do have 2 Candraphons, so I'd like to start to begin to awaken the second one. So once I've got this one to 6-star, I'll then be able to start awakening him. And offensive attack-based champions, I feel, benefit most from the blessing system. Particularly, you know, if we look at like Lightning Orb, we get attack, we get crit damage, and we get speed. So they get the kind of the best blessings and the best stat bonuses really complement attack-based nukers. And I think Candraphon is one of the best attack-based nukers because he's viable as a defense champion due to super strong passive. So yeah, there we go. Bit of a short video, nothing too crazy in this one. I will try and record a video for the free-to-play start today. I started the account about 23 hours ago at time of recording, So my intention is to try and record a video roughly 24 hours in, give you an update of what I've managed to do in that first day. I did start a little bit behind everyone else, sort of 8 hours after Clan Boss reset is when I got home from work. So I'm definitely up against it a little bit, and the RNG so far has not been in my favour. But you know, it's a marathon, not a sprint, and I'm not particularly worried about how the first few weeks go. To be honest, I'm even away next weekend on holidays. I'm really going to fall quite far behind initially, but I'm pretty confident I'll catch it up. I think in faction wars is where I'll make up the ground. So thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.